book friends. I'm Erin, and this is Erin Go Read. I'm going to start my time on YouTube off with a little journey through the PBS Great American Read. So over the summer, PBS, the Public Broadcasting Service in the United States, put out a survey and used a panel of experts to compile the data from the survey to come up with a list of 100 of America's favorite books. Once the list of 100 books were compiled, we could vote on our favorite books, and thus they determined the order ranking from 100 all the way to the number one favorite book of Americans, and that was To Kill a Mockingbird. At the time of the announcement of the video, I was reading 2 of the books on the list, and since completing those, I have read 35 of the top 100 books. This year alone, I've read 10 of the top 100, 10 of the 35 that I'd mentioned before. The first 9 of those were just books that I happened to have read that landed on the list. The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime was the only book so far that I've read, purposely because it was on the list. Going into 2019, I'm going to be intentionally reading books on the list. I've been slowly acquiring them over the last couple months. I actually just had a little haul from my bookstore. I haven't given myself a specific timeline or deadline for when I would like to complete this. I don't want this to feel too much like a homework assignment, more of a fun challenge and a way to explore some new authors and get some new perspectives. And then there are a couple I know already that I'm going to choose not to read. For example, I have no interest in reading 50 Shades of Grey. If you like that, that's cool. I just don't feel like it's going to benefit my life in any way to read that. So I have full veto power. I also have DNF power. So if I start a book, I've given it a fair shot, and I feel like this just isn't for me, then now I know that book's not for me, but I gave it a shot. So I do want to mention the books that I've read this year that are on the PBS Great American Read list. The first is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. My husband and I read this together, and we really enjoyed it. We were born in the early 80s, and so a lot of the references really hit home for us. The only book that I've read purposely for this project so far has been The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, which I thought was great. The best part of this book, and the reason that maybe you should read it, is that the narrator and the main character is a boy on the autism spectrum. And so you get some really great insights into why he feels certain ways about certain things, colors, foods, the things that kind of make him tick or bother him for certain reasons. And you get some really great insight. That's my dog shaking. Hi, Stevie. Oh, he wants me to play with a toy. Next on the list is maybe one of my all-time favorites now, and that's Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. And this is the beautiful Virago Classics hardback edition. And that's just, it's like a piece of art, but the physical book is, but the contents of the book is as well. I will definitely reread this one day, and I've since collected a few more Daphne du Mauriers, and I look forward to getting more into her catalog. I also read some classics. I participated in Victober this year. So I picked up The Picture of Dorian Gray, and this is the Penguin Clothbound Classics edition. And I really love this. I loved, what's his name? Lord Henry. Lord Henry was my favorite character in Dorian. I believe at the time that the list was announced, I was in the middle of reading Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I'd never read it before. I'm glad I have. I really enjoyed it, and I'm sure I will be rereading this in the future, as well as digging deeper into the Bronte literature. I did read Wuthering Heights my senior year of high school. I barely remember anything about it. I remember the Moors. That's pretty much, I remember description of the Moors and not really knowing what the Moors were. And last but not least, I am almost finished with Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. I've kind of been slowly reading this. Mostly I've just been distracted by other things, and I kind of wish that I would have just stuck with this and not gotten so sidetracked, because I am really enjoying it. I just have that kind of magpie syndrome where I see a shiny new book over there and I want to read that. I want to read all the books, and so I have a tendency to try to read all of them at the same time, which does a disservice to the books that I'm actually trying to read and enjoy at the time. So the first books that I think I'm going to dig into in 2019 is going to be The Book Thief, which the dust jacket is kind of mangled, so it's not on there. So I'm going to start with The Book Thief. I really like historical fiction, so I think I'm going to in the mood for that soon. And then Americana by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Sorry, my dog has brought me a ball. Say hi, Stevie. Hello. Hi, Stevie. He's a wild one. So, do you know about the Great American Read? Had you been following it? Did you vote for any books? What was your favorite on the list? Were you happy with the rankings? To Kill a Mockingbird was number 1. Are you interested in joining me in this challenge? I'll be posting regularly about what I'm reading. I'll go into more detail as I'm reading the book about what number ranking they were. So to follow my journey, and as well as other bookish content, this won't be the only thing I'm reading. Like, subscribe, comment, tell me if you've read anything on this list. Are you looking forward to maybe digging into some of this list? If you want to check out the list in its entirety, you can go to pbs.org/Great American Read, or just Google Great American Read. That jingling is my dog. Hi, Stevie. Thank you for watching. See you around the tubes.